Hello again, everyone, and welcome back again for another video. Today we have another case to take a look at to talk about tear down, do a build in, and then even sell off. This one is the G3-BK-ARGB. This one, of course, is from DIYPC. Let's take a look at it here on the screen. As you can see on Newegg, it goes for $45.94 currently. This is one of the lower priced, lower tier cases that I kind of like to cover on my channel. It's been a while since I've done a video on any cases, and mainly that's been because I haven't really found any, well, I guess worth a shit building in that I wanted to talk about. They're all kind of like not very good with the air circulation or some other flaw that I wasn't even going to bother with them to even talk about them. But this one didn't look too bad. As you can see, it's got a mesh front going on there. We can see a little bit of the I/O there on the right-hand side. You can see it's got two USB 2, USB 3 up on top, power reset, and the headphone microphone jack. But tell you what, let me cut this scene here. Let me cut the box open. We'll take this out and we'll have a look at this case before we get going. Okay, so I got the sides taken off and I got that front bezel taken off, and they detached the extra screws and the speaker that they give you to it. Looking at the case here this way, here's our manual. It's toss set here. As you can see right down here, we'll start down here I guess. You can get an SSD mounted right in there. It's got 3 holes there for your wires to come through and one right there for your VGA to come through. Down at the way bottom here, as you can see, it does have a window on there to see the power supply. And on the inside here, let's let that focus. As you can see there, it's got a little screen going on there. Turning this way so you can take a look at that screen. Let me back this camera off a bit. The screen is white. I don't get that. This is a completely black case, so they give you a off-color screen here. And this is, of course, to filter out the front intake fans. Now, that'd be great if you weren't like using an AIO or something, I suppose, because what if you got your fans on the outside here? This isn't going to hold on here. So the only way this is really going to work is if your fans are mounted on the inside here and maybe an AIO up on top or something. And even then, look at that, the color's off on it, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. 40 some bucks, under 50 bucks. That's what we get. All right, looking down here, let's start at the bottom down here. Let me cast my light down here so you can see this and get the camera here and zoom in. As you can see right here, we do have a removable bay for the hard drive and SSD right here that you can take out or leave in there if you need the space. Here's our room for our power supply. Not much room there, really. Kind of a small. Comes with the cheap power supply filter on the bottom. Let me raise this up a bit here. 1 second. And tilt the camera so that we are focused on this. This is the RGB controller that comes with it. Your SATA power would plug in here. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4... regular 3-pin right there and 2 LED strip ports right there on front, or on top, I'm sorry. This top one right here is probably, let's see here. Yep. This is going to go into the motherboard right there to interface with your motherboard if you want to do it that way. And then following that on the sides here, we've got 4 fan ports. These are not PWM. As you can see, these are all 3-pin. So this controller is more than likely going to go. All right, so looking on the back here, at tie down points, we've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and these aren't tie down points. So it looks like we've got 10 tie down points. They're not too many. But then again, if you look at the back here, I mean, it's not like there's places to mount any drives or nothing. I mean, if you want hard drives in here or SSD, you're going to have to either mount it in the mount there or in that one thing up front there. You can't mount them on the case like you see in some of these cases. So, can't use the case for that. Let's turn it around back here. Let's see, you got your usual here. These are the breakaway type where you got to break them away to take them off there. There's a little, that's tight. Loosen that up a little bit. This slides in and out. It's to lock down the GPU. The power down here will tilt the camera. As you can see, the power supply will only go in one way. That would be facing down. So that's the only way you could put the power supply in this case. This is a pretty cheap no-frills case. You don't see too much on here to write home to mom about. It's pretty average, but then what do you expect for, 45, 46 bucks? You're not going to get like those awesome features like USB-C and what have you. But anyways, so next we're going to move on to a build in this thing. According to the spec sheet on this will hold a 360 radiator right here in the front. So, I think we're going to try that. Well, I think we'll do a 360 rad in this. As for the computer that's going in here, now if you watched my last video, you'd know what's going to go in here. What's going in here is the parts from my son's old AM4 build. We're going to recycle those, put those into this new case, and this is going to get sold off on eBay. So we'll have some, pretty okay specs going in here for what we're going to be building. But let me go ahead, cut this scene, and, start doing my building. Okay, I've started my little build here, and I got the motherboard in, so I'm going to pause here and get this on camera so I can show you guys this, because we are talking about the case after all. I wanted to measure the clearance from the top to where the memory is right here, where that flips back. Now remember, for a top AIO, we need at least 50 to 55, preferably 55 or more millimeters of depth. And at looking at this, you can see there that we've only got about 35 millimeters to where it touches the top here of where the RAM is. That's not going to be too much of an issue here. It looks like, if I can tip the camera, our holes will actually come up to about here. So right about here is where we're going to need our depth. And looking at it from there, as you can see, it's only right even with that, about 45. So getting an AIO up on top will not be very easy unless you do some lower profile memory, of course, to fit them in there. And even then, you're talking, yeah, I don't know. I don't think maybe even you could get a 240 up on top. Maybe you could. But it'd be pretty tight here against your memory. And then another concern here is your VRM radiator thing here, whatever the fuck you call this. That's going to cool off your VRMs here on this side, on the top. That's a little close too. So this case, not too good for top mount AIO. I can tell you that right now without even putting the AIO in. But we are progressing along here. Now you can see there's a little gap there to get your wires through. Kind of wish this was a little bit bigger too. But that's what you get with the economical cases. Now you can see that I did a little bit of RGB start here, because I'm always doing RGB shit. I got a Cool Moon SSD cooler on top of the main SSD, and I have that actually routed down here, and we'll actually tuck that under there. So we'll have a little bit of RGB going there to match our memory RGB, and then whatever the hell else we're going to put in here. All right, so let me cut this scene here, and we will carry on with this build. All right, so a little more progress has been made here. I stuck the 360 radiator in there. As you can see, it does fit up on top. Pretty tight fit there. It kind of rubs a little bit up on top there. I don't know if you can see right down on the bottom. It is completely down on the bottom. So let me turn this here and let you have a look at this so you can see this. Let me cast some light here. One thing I noticed that with that 360, it does not go in all the way. Like right here, look at the screws where they are aligned here. You can see it's not even on the plate here below this one. Same thing here. You can see it below the plate here where it's not going to grip, and same thing right here. So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places actually that the screws will actually tie down onto the case itself to hold the fans. I'm not really liking that, but not much we can do about it. That's just the way it is. But if you are looking to get a 360 in this case, you might want to watch out for that. You might run into some problems there. Maybe if this was a littler, I'm not sure. I mean, this is just a standard deep cool 360 rad. You know, I mean, they come up like this from here. So when it advertises as being able to hold a 360, I kind of got to question that. But we are going to put the 360 in here because, well, it does look like, yeah, it's in there. It's not hitting anything, so it's just going to be kind of weird there when I screw those fans down in it. But we are progressing. Now, as you can see, I do have a couple of extensions in here. I decided to go with orange. Now, the reason I decided to go with orange is because of this orange highlight right here, like on the VRM heatsink and on the heatsink here for the bridge. So I thought that would look kind of cool, kind of match up with this gold here a little bit, kind of a orange and gold theme going on here. So yeah, all right. So that's that for the AIO. Let me go ahead and stick the fans in here and keep building, and we'll come back in the next scene. All right, continuing along here, I'm running into another problem. Now, as you can see, I've got my fans installed in the front there for the 360, which, you know, does fit. But when we go to try to put on the side cover here, we're banging in there. I don't know if we can get that on camera or not, but yeah, this here part of it is banging into the fan. So no fans up front. Not any way that I can see anyways that you can do it. You can't get fans up front without it banging on there. Maybe some 15 millimeter low profiles will work. I doubt positioning these in like a 240 form is going to make much difference either. So, yeah, I mean, it's just not working for me. So I'm going to have to loosen up these fans, pull them out. Oh, while I'm at it, thinking of it, let me show you this too. On this front panel here, this front bezel, it's got an RGB strip right here on the side. As you can see on the inside, right here, which would be, you know, right here. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess it would make more sense if maybe it was on this or something, but yeah, this is a little tacky here. So yeah, I'm not really liking this case too much, but I do like the vent in there. I'm not liking it because of the aforementioned 360 rad, which it is advertised as fitting. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could get it in there, but it's going to have to go on the inside, and I'm going to have to take this, scoot this up more. And doing that, of course, is going to take away some of the space here for a graphics card. Now, is our graphics card even going to fit now? Let me look here. Yeah, the graphics card's going to fit, but I would caution you if you do have a longer graphics card for this case and you want to do a radiator up front here. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to try and sort out. But let me cut this scene, and that's actually what I'm going to do is sort this out and see if we can get this in here right. All right, so for better or for worse, the 360 AIO is installed in here. You can see it on this side. You can see how I have the fans on the inside now. I guess, you know, when all is said and done, that does at least allow us to put the filter back on like I showed you earlier. So I did go ahead and place the filter back in there. Let me go ahead and flip it around this way. You could even see the filter right there. I might take it out. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. We'll see after I light it up. Anyways, ran the RGB cables through. Now, down here, as you can see, I had to take out the hard drive rack. I don't know if that would fit in here still. Here it is. There is a little bit of room here. Let me get this out of here. There is a little bit of room down here to fit it in here still because, as you can see, there is some things to put it down into. And it would probably still fit if the power supply was small enough and you could maybe get some more in here. But man, you just are really pressed for space here using the AIO in this. I honestly would tell you that this isn't an AIO case. You might want to go air cooling on this after my experience with it. I mean, I suppose you could do this like I'm doing here with the, you know, your 240 or 360 rad and do it like that to get it to work here. You could try getting it up on top. Maybe if your gap's a little better here, maybe if you got some better modules that sit a little lower, you could maybe get it on top. But I think for the most part, this case is probably going to be good for air-cooled setups, quite honestly. So, all right, let me get this scene cut here, and I'm going to keep building. Okay, so I finally reached, I'm finished with the build, and I went ahead and loaded Windows up here. So let's take a look at a couple of stats here, starting with the Unigine Heaven benchmark. As you can see, it ran 206 frames a second with a max of 376.9 and a minimum of 99.6. Let's go up here to Cinebench. Cinebench under the multi-core, it scored a 9,922. That's about average. I actually kind of expected to see something a little bit higher on a 2700X, but it is what it is. Single core, we scored a 1,100. Under Task Manager, looking at our performance here, CPU, you can see we are running the Ryzen 7 2700X, 32 gigs of PC 3600 memory. It's actually double this right here. That's just wrong. Anyways, disk 0 is a 1 terabyte Crucial P1 drive. And our video is a NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 6 gig. So that looks pretty good here. So something weird here going on with my earphone. Anyway, so the video, the builds. Let's go ahead and switch to the other cam here. Let me stop this, and we'll take a look at the finished build. All right, so our build is done here. I got it set up here with the camera. Let's take a look at this. Starting in the front here, you can see the RGB there going on. Now, you don't really see the strip unless you really dig in there to look to find it. There it is. Let me set this to auto here so that you can see the different colors and stuff on it. I don't know why. I just think that looks kind of tacky with that strip in there and the lights because you don't really see the strip. I mean, you can't really take advantage of it. Maybe if you put like some white fans in there or something, but then with that filter and the fans were all white, I mean, all you're going to get is just the casting from that. You're not going to see the fans. It's kind of silly here. Turning this around here so you can see this. Um, as you can see, we got the AIO going on there, all the RGB in there, our graphics card, and then down at the bottom here, I put an orange vinyl wrap on the window there for the power supply. Everything in here is running great. You just seen the stats on it, what all's inside here. Now this one, as I had mentioned, is going to go up for sale. I really wish I kind of want to pull this plastic off to show you the sharpness of this color and stuff, but because this plastic kind of fades it a little bit here with this film that's on there covering it up, but we're going to leave that on there for the new owner. So, yeah, this is a pretty decent computer. Like I said, I used parts from my son's old Pac-Man one, actually, and then I used a extra AIO that I had there, the 360, to complete it. Pretty decent. Don't know what's going to go for, but it will be up on eBay. If you're watching this from eBay, then, well, I guess you get to see the computer as it got built. If you want to buy this computer, it will be down in the description there. Now, if you don't see the link to eBay down in the description, that means this has already been sold. I do have another one coming up here, maybe later next week or maybe later this week. I don't know. I guess it depends on my time. But I do have another one that's going to go up for sale as well. It's going to be in another case that I haven't talked about yet. But anyways, this case, it's okay. I'm going to give this like 3 out of 5 stars. I think they really could have done some improving here with this case. I don't know how. I mean, maybe with this bezel here in the front, maybe shift that over a bit so that you can get some fans in the front. That would be nice. That's my only major complaint, I guess, with this case. Top AIO would have maybe liked to have seen some USB-C. This is kind of an older version where you got the USB 2.0 and one USB 3. Anymore, it's always 2 USB 3.0s, one USB-C, which I tend to like a lot more than the traditional ports that you would see on a case. So this case is under $50. Worth it? If you're air cooling, I say yes. If you plan on doing AIO, I say no. I think you should look for something with a little better room, with a little better layout there to get your parts in. I don't think it's that good for that, but for a lower tiered, lower budget case, I think it's just fine. All right, so that's going to be it for this one, guys. This, again, was the DIYPC G3-BK-ARGB case. Like I said, going up for sale. This will go up for on builds.gg for you to have a look at. I'll talk to you later, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.